Chapter 9. Chuck? A stab of fear made my breath catch in my throat. I heard the hard thud of sneakers against concrete and turned to the stairs. In the dim light, I saw Chuck disappear out through the trap door. As soon as he reached the alley, he poked his head back in. "Steve, get out!" he called down in a loud whisper. "Hurry! Get out of there!" Too late. A ceiling light flashed on. As I blinked against the bright light, I saw a man move quickly across the basement. He swept along the wall, pulled a long black cord, and the trapdoor slammed shut with a deafening clang. "Oh!" I uttered a weak cry as he turned angrily to me. I was trapped. Chuck got out, but I was trapped. Trapped in the basement with this guy. And what a weird-looking guy. To begin with, he wore a long black cape that swept behind him as he crossed the room to me. Is that a Halloween costume? I wondered. Does he wear a black cape all the time? Beneath the billowing cape, he wore a black suit, kind of old-fashioned looking. He had shiny black hair, parted in the middle and slicked down with some kind of hair grease, and a pencil-thin mustache that curled over his upper lip. As he stood over me, his black eyes glowed like two burning coals. Like vampire eyes, I thought. My whole body was shaking. I gripped the sides of the carton and tried to return his stare. Trapped, I thought, waiting for him to speak. Trapped with a vampire. "What are you doing here?" he asked finally. He pushed back his cape and crossed his arms in front of him. The glowing eyes glared down at me sternly. Uh, just looking at masks," I managed to choke out. I was still on my knees on the floor. I knew that my legs were shaking too hard to stand up. "The store is closed," the man said through gritted teeth. "I know," I admitted, lowering my eyes to the floor. The store went out of business. We're closed for good." I'm sorry," I murmured. Was he going to let me go? What was he going to do with me? If I started to scream, no one would hear me. Would Chuck try to get help for me? Or was he halfway home by now? "I live upstairs," the man explained, still glaring at me angrily. "I heard scraping sounds down here, boxes being moved around. I was going to call the police." "I'm not a burglar," I blurted out. "Please don't call the police. The trap door was open, and my friend and I came down." His eyes moved quickly around the room. "Your friend?" "He ran away when he heard you coming," I told him. "I just wanted to see if there were any masks, for Halloween. I wasn't going to steal anything. But the store is closed," the man repeated. He glanced at the open cart in front of me. "Those masks are very special. They're not for sale." Not for sale," I stammered. "You shouldn't break into stores," the man replied, shaking his head. His slicked down hair gleamed under the low ceiling light. "How old are you?" I drew a blank. My mouth dropped open, but no answer came out. I was so terrified, I forgot how old I was. 12, I answered finally. I took a deep breath, trying to calm myself. 12 and you're already breaking into stores," the man said softly. "I don't break into stores," I protested. I never did before. I came to buy a mask. Look, I brought money." I jammed my trembling hand into my jeans pocket and pulled out the wad of bills. $25, I said, holding up the money so we could see it. "Here, is enough for one of these masks?" He rubbed his chin. "I told you, young man, these masks are special. They cannot be sold. Believe me, you do not want one of these." "But I do," I cried. "They're awesome. They're the best masks I've ever seen. Halloween's only a few days away. I need one. I need one desperately. Please?" "No," the man shouted sharply. "Not for sale." "But why not?" I wailed. He eyed me thoughtfully. "Too real," he replied. "The masks are too real." "But that's why they're so awesome," I exclaimed. "Please, please, take my money. Here." I pushed the water bills toward him. He didn't reply. Instead, he turned away. His cape swirled behind him. "Come with me, young man." "Huh? Where?" Cold fear ran down my back. I was still holding the money out in front of me. "Come upstairs with me. I'm going to call your parents." "No!" I shrieked. "Please!" If my mom and dad found out I got caught breaking into the basement of a store, they would go totally ballistic. They'd ground me for life. I missed this Halloween and the next 30 Halloweens to come. The man eyed me coldly. "I don't want to call the police," he said softly. "I'd rather call your parents." "Please," I murmured again, climbing to my feet. I suddenly had an idea. I could make a run for it. I glanced quickly at the concrete stairs leading up to the trap door. If I took off and really flew, I could get up those stairs before the man could reach me. The trap door was shut, but it probably wasn't locked. I could push it open from underneath and just keep running. I glanced again at the steps. It is worth a try, I decided. I took a deep breath and held it. Then I silently counted to 3. 1, 2, 3! On 3, I took off. My heart thudded louder than my sneakers on the hard floor, but I made it to the stairs in about a second and a half. "Hey, stop!" I heard the cape man cry in surprise. I could hear his heavy steps as he plunged after me. "Stop, young man! Where are you going?" I didn't slow down or glance back. I took the stairs 2 at a time. Yes, I'm getting away, I thought. As I reached the top, I shot out both hands and pushed up on the trap door with all my might. It didn't budge. Chapter 10, next time, folks. Take care. Happy Monday.